Hey everybody, it's Andy here at Montilio. We're back. Eternal Weekend North America, Vintage, taking a week off, rejuvenated our batteries, and looking forward to trying some different things outside of our testing for that weekend. And the first place I'm looking, especially with the rise of White Initiative at Eternal Weekend, I'm going to try some Ravager shops, being out of style for the last couple of years. More or less, it pops up now and again, as most archetypes do, but definitely been out of style. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to bring back some hasted creatures and fleet wheel cruiser to be able to steal that initiative. Not a whole lot to say about the deck in general. I think this is basically circa 2018 what I'm playing here, and we're going to try the Metamorphs out to be able to get the initiative in general, and obviously it counters or copies the big creatures in other opponents' decks. Doesn't need a whole lot of explanation. Nor does this deck. I think one of the main things you see that is different from what you would see in shops in general now is the fact that I am not running Urza Saga and I have a skew towards playing Mishra's Factory. I think that Mishra's Factory is not nearly as mana intensive as Urza Saga. It does help pump our fleet wheel cruisers to employ our plan further to steal initiative, and I'm going to try it out today. I'm not saying that this is the correct way to do things, as when I do pick up shops in general, it is with Urza Saga, not with Mishra's Factory, but I'm going to give it a go today. Not much to say. We've kind of tinkered with the sideboard a little bit to keep it up to date with what's going on. But yeah, we'll see you guys round one. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like and subscribe button. We'll see you then. All right, guys, here we are in round one of our Vintage League, and we are playing Ravager Shops today. Sorry about that, guys. Had a little bit of Christmas music on in the background and forgotten our video, but happy holidays to all that heard that and all who didn't. Okay. This just seems like a very solid keep. Turn one Lodestone Golem. Which is a pretty powerful play in general, so much so it's restricted. We'll see if we can get that into play. It does resolve. Okay. The problem with Lodestone Golem is there's a lot of combo running around. And, the Grixis Tinker decks or the Esper Tinker decks are the ones that are able to get around a card like Lodestone very easily because it does not tax artifacts. Not to intone. Oh, White Initiative. Okay. White Initiative, guys. So this is the match we've been gunning for, and a powerful play in Lodestone Golem here. So here's the thing. I think Fleet Wheel Cruiser is the play here. Maybe it's not. Maybe I just make a big 5/5 snake. That actually might just be better. Okay, first things first, let's get in. I'm not going to use the Fleet Wheel because I've skewed not to cast that and attack with it. I think we can do that next turn. I think I'm going to play the Factory here. Because that may allow me... Oops, we don't want to do that. A 5/5 snake is no joke. Now, Solitude is a card that could get us. They didn't do it. Next turn, if things go well, we don't get wastelanded, we can cast a Fleet Wheel Cruiser. And the least, if my opponent does cast an initiative creature here, we are going to be able to steal the initiative. I do not have a basic in my main. I have it in my sideboard. So we will not be able to utilize that feature, but that's okay. That's not what makes the trap super powerful. Or excuse me, the Undercity super powerful. It's the trap. And what is it called? The Throne of the Dead. Okay, so my opponent has chosen a Solitude here. And they pitched a Thalia. And they're going after my snake. Okay. Yeah, Spirit is actually decent here. So what I can do now is I can get their Mox, Ballista this thing for 1, and Wasteland them. I think I like that. We're going to tap our Sapphire here because our Sapphire is going to be shut off. And this should really hurt their mana development. Obviously, I mean, if they have another mana producer, it could be problematic, but they still are under a Lodestone Golem here. And we are definitely presenting lethal with the Factory, or if things go well, the Fleet Wheel Cruiser if we don't get Wastelanded. Okay. So a nice game 1 win. We definitely want the basic. This is what we have it here for. We're going to get rid of the Hearse. I think that Thorn is probably not at its best in this particular matchup here. Chalice loses some functionality. I think it's far stronger on the draw in this particular matchup. Metamorph is a bit scary of a card because of the presence of Solitude, but I still think it's strong enough that, you know, us being able to steal the initiative from the opponent is pretty big game. I think I'm going to cut a Sphere of Resistance here. Let's try something like this. This is decent. And once again, like, you know, is Wormcoil good in this matchup with all the Swords to Plowshare effects? Probably not, but it's still a very high impact card that in the event I'm able to cast it, I'm going to be very glad to have it on the table, and it forces my opponent to remove it. And if they don't, it will take over the game. That's an easy mulligan for us. This one looks a little bit better. The mana's a little bit suspect here. I'm going to keep this one. It's a very difficult decision as to what to put away. I think it is the Wormcoil here. I'm not thrilled to do that line because Wormcoil, for the aforementioned statement, is pretty good if left unaccosted, but it is 6 mana to get there. My opponent does run Wastelands. This is a card that can steal the initiative. This can hold the ground if I need it to. And of course, our mana is very important. And if they do not have a good turn 1 play, I think knocking a Sphere of Resistance into play is pretty powerful against my opponent's strategy. Despite it is not as good on the draw for me, but okay, so they might have a turbo turn here. They are, okay. Hopefully it's not Archon. Yuck. Okay, well, I mean, Archon is not the end-all be-all for me. My opponent has one card in hand. And hopefully that's all they've got. Okay, wow. Interesting. I'm much more interested in deploying my mana here right now than anything else. We are racing my opponent for sure, given the current board state. Okay, well, this is pretty good for me. I've got double fleet wheel. 1, 2, 3. So I can't actually do everything I would like here. All right, I could go 1, 2. I think we're just going to try and get in here. I mean, that's a pretty serious clock coming from me here. This turn we can do double fleet wheel. I'll sacrifice my box to my Ravager if everything goes okay. Okay. They've decided to sit back. Okay. This should be lethal, I would think. Now, they could have a Solitude here. I only currently get one spell per turn, so... Let's see if we can get lethal in here. I feel like my opponent is holding up some level of removal here. But even if I get one of the hits through, we could be putting them on a mana crypt flip. Yeah, they've conceded the game. So very nice win for us there. That did not feel particularly close. Let's see you next round. Okay, guys, here we are in round 2 of our Vintage League. We did not win the die roll. I think this hand is okay. I think my opponent is typically a combo player. So, I mean, I don't know what more you're really looking for from Shops with reference to, stopping combo. I don't know if this actually is combo, but we're going to find out. Okay, we're going to try and get a Seer Resistance into play here. I think that's probably our best bet. It's possible that this could be both as well. Okay, they have a Force on a Flusterstorm. Okay, pass turn here. We'll see what we're dealing with. Opponent is reasonably low on resources here. We are looking for a land off the top. This could be an Oko. See what they do here. I mean, hopefully we find a land off the top. Another workshop would just be magnificent. That would really allow us to explode. Almost assuredly it would be a winning position, but there's a number of things that could go wrong in that. Like if this truly is an Oath of Druids deck, that it could be problematic. Okay, Narset. Okay, Narset's a bit scary. But certainly on the spectrum of things that could have gone wrong, it's not the worst. Okay, Demonic Tutor. Okay. Land. Didn't get one. Okay. Um, this is really a difficult position to be in here. Missing a land was just awful there. I feel like, as much as I hate to do it, I really feel like I need to shut off that Mox Jet. Perhaps not a winning line. Oh, my opponent just had another force. Okay. So this is just likely to be a demonic tutor into an ancestral, would be most likely what they're looking to do given the desperation of their force of will there. Top, okay. And I mean, the bad news is we floundered pretty good there on not finding a land. But we kept that type of hand, so not much we can do about it. They're setting up a Tinker next turn by the looks of it. Okay, that's pretty good. They will let this resolve. Whether they let my Emerald resolve is a different story. If they do force it to, it's actually fairly reasonable. We're going to put this on Mox Jet. Okay. Do they know what's there? Or they no? Okay. They want their top, and I think that's fine. I mean, what did they do with their demonic tutor is the question. They passed turn, so maybe it's just ancestral, but I feel like Tinker's the stronger line. Yeah, so they do have it. Okay. They held back their Mox there. Oh, Oath of Druids. Interesting. Okay. So we did call Oath of Druids as a possibility, and this does put us into quite a bit of trouble here. The good news is that we actually have a metamorph for whatever it is they get. We could play Unlicensed Hearse here, which I think is pretty reasonable. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a Fleet Wheel Cruiser going here. That's my first thing I'm going to do. And this does put a good clock on my opponent. I put them to 6 life. It does take them off Grizzlebrand. We're going to go after them because I don't want them to be able to draw cards. And I'm going to play the Hearse here. In case I can get a Gaia's Blessing out of their yard. And that's pretty powerful. My opponent has to be really careful if they lose their Blessing. Okay, so they did hit Grizzlebrand. They can't do anything here now. What are the scariest cards here? We're going to take Demonic Tutor and we're going to take Tinker, I think, are the cards I want to get rid of. I do think I make my own Grizzlebrand. I attempt to. Hold on a sec. Is there a way I can kill them here? I might be actually able to kill them. 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can make a 3/3 and a 1/1. So if my opponent doesn't have something here, I think I can win. Let's see if I can do this, guys. I think this should resolve. If my opponent has a force, I'm going to lose no matter what. But if they don't have a force, I think I'm all right. So my opponent looks like they're looking with their top here. Okay, it does look like it resolves. So what I do is I animate both of my creatures here to attack, and I go in with everything. And then whatever they block with the Grizzlebrand, I shoot down. And then the remainder of the damage can get through. Crew that. See what we can do. Let me just go with everything, right? And hope it's enough. Right, we don't want to let them gain life, so we block whatever it is. We kill whatever they block with our ballistas. Okay, nice win for Ravager Shops there over a resolved Grizzlebrand. Lest we forget. So we've got a couple cages, which is nice. Ratchet Bomb could be a thing. Don't know how much I really like Ratchet Bomb, but Ratchet Bomb is a way to remove a resolved Oath of Druids. Hearse could be good as well. Maybe we want an extra Hearse. Our Metamorphs are definitely solid. Don't think we want Chalice. One of the nice things about having the factories back is that we can get chip damage in and also animate our Hearse, which Urza Saga cannot do because Urza Saga creates a permanent that will trigger an Oath of Druids. Do we want Skyship for that reason? Skyship does hit Okos and things like that, so I think it's reasonable. So we've got a lot of cards here, and we need to make some changes. So I think Ratchet Bob in general was not great. I think Stone Coil actually does tangle. So I do like that. Maybe I can take out some Foundry Inspectors here. Maybe that's just not that good. Could maybe bring in some Worm Coils. I'm going to cut a Mana Crypt here. We're going to be going a little bit more for the long game here with all likelihood. I'm not sure what I think of my sideboarding plan there, but I would be lying if I said I was up to date on having a fluent sideboard playing with Ravager Shops in the current meta game. It's not something I play consistently. I do pick it up once every several months and take it for a spin. But I mean, this looks like a nice hand. We just have to hope my opponent doesn't have a turbo start. Demonic Tutor, okay. See if this is a Lotus, or are they setting up a Tinker or Ancestral? We know they do have Tinker in their deck. But we have a number of things that can disrupt whatever it is they're doing, barring they go off on me right now. Like, I think the worst thing for me would be if they just slammed an Oath of Druids right now. But it is what it is. We have a plan for that. Okay. A little sad to see the Mox come down there. So we're going to play it safe here, guys. We're going to try and get the Sphere into play. Hopefully my opponent's just not worried about it, and that can set us up with the Revoker and the Wasteland the following turn to try and gum them up. Okay, this likely just is an Oath of Druids, and unfortunately they have the Orchard to go along with it. And so that does change the outlook of the plan here significantly. We need to find a cage off the top if that's the case, or we're just very likely to lose. Okay, so we did not find what we were looking for here, unfortunately. And as a result of that, I think we're highly likely to lose this game. I don't really have a way of stopping my opponent from making the creature here. If we had a Ballista in hand, we could have gone that route, but unfortunately we don't. We'll move to second main here, and we're going to attempt to cast a Unlicensed Hearse. The reason I'm doing Unlicensed Hearse is I don't know what's in my opponent's deck, but there is always a chance that your opponent can mill themselves with Oath of Druids. I've played a lot of Oath in my time, and where you've only got one creature in your deck, it's the last creature on the bottom of your library, and your Gaia's Blessing gets removed or whatever. My point being is that Oath of Druids is not a foolproof plan. In addition to things too, guys, my opponent could have their Oath targets in hand. That does happen as well. Okay, so they have the Sarah's Emissary. Now, I don't think I have any outs to this. Okay, so that's game. We can't win through that. So, seeing that they have Yogg-Will there as well, I think I just really like the plan of having Hearse in the deck. Do I want my Inspectors back? I might. It might just be better than Ravager, to be honest. Ravager is a tricky card that allows me to get around an Oath that has gone off. Okay, this is a nice looking hand. Tough call. We have a very strong turn one play in 3-ball. Let's see if we can start with resolving that. That would go a long way to us winning this game. Okay. Let's see if we can get a Lodi down. That would be great. I just think we have to take it as a brick. I feel like we need to start deploying. Hopefully my opponent stumbles on land. They have not. Oh boy, guys. Yeah, this is pretty harsh for us. We're just not going to be able to apply enough pressure to make this a winning strategy here. Unfortunately, I think we just have to come off our turn here and cast the Emerald. There's just no high impact play here. I mean, I could get another 2 damage in with a Revoker, but it's not worth it. So my opponent had. Oh, are they on Hurkyl's Recall? This feels like a Hurkyl's, but who knows? They could force this. Yeah, it's a force. Okay. That makes me feel better, you know, because they did not cast an Oath of Druids last turn. Okay. We are chipping away here, a 3-turn clock. Not thrilled about this. I'm going to name Oko, I guess. I mean, a Black Lotus is a scary card, but they still have to get through my 3-ball. It's a Herc. Oh, Brainstorm, okay. So this only puts them to 1 if they are able to resolve the Oath. So I am penciled into finding a bullet. Actually, if they have to tap their Orchard, it is lethal. In that case, it would not be enough. So that would require my opponent. Oh, Tabernacle. Very nice. Okay. That was really good. They have an Oath? We got a game on our hands here. The Tabernacle was really unexpected. Okay, we're going to keep our snake around, obviously. It's the only one we can pay for. So we're desperately looking for lands. Good news is we were able to pay for one of them, which really helps us along. Ooh, that's a good one if I can ever get that to go. Oh boy. Let's see if they can remove this, guys. I could play the Sphere here. The problem with this is that if they can remove this somehow, it sets me up to cast the Fleet Wheel. Let's see if they tap out. I can actually let the creature go as well and just cast the Fleet Wheel if they tap out. Like, my opponent is getting into a serious position here where they're going to have to find an answer to the stone coil. Let's see if they tap down here. Just bring in like an Oko. Oko would be really good for them if they had it. It looks like an Oko. Oh, Mox. Okay, so we're just going to win here. Yeah, we got the win. We just let both our creatures die. You're under a 3-ball, though. All right. Another nice showcase for Fleet Wheel Cruiser here. I think that was a good win for us against a really traditionally difficult matchup in Ultra Druids. So we will take that. Appreciate you guys hanging out here. Remember, hit that like and subscribe button. We're going to see you next round. Hey, everybody. Here we are in round 2 of our Vintage League. This is on the draw. We get another chance at a land. I mean, this is a little bit loose, but I think it could be worth keeping. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to mold this. I just think we can do better. Okay. I definitely like this one a lot better. Let's put back a Ravager and try this out. We don't know what we're playing against here. My opponent a year and a half ago, and they've only got a handful of results on MTG Goldfish, and their last one was HollowVine. But I mean, I think it was like a year and a half ago, and I think it's probably a fair assumption that they're on that style of deck, and Trinisphere is very good there, if we can resolve that. Beg your pardon, excuse me. Now, of course, we could be way behind the gun before we even get to do this, being on the draw, depending on how powerful their opener is, but I like this better than going to 5, but it was not lost on me, that logic, keeping the hearse. But see, this is an instance where we're too far behind, right, for the hearse. And hopefully they don't have a hollow one here, and I think that we might have a shot. Okay, they didn't have a hollow one, which is good news for us. I guess first things first, let's get the Black Lotus down here. I think what we're just going to do is we're going to cast a... Maybe it's just Walking Ballista. At least this way, if they do have Force of Vigor in hand, this does slow them down a bit. I mean, not really, but a little bit it does anyways. Not liking my position here, but this is what we were looking to try and accomplish against this hand. So they did have Force of Vigor. Okay, so this line worked pretty well. I think we're going to take the green root wall here and hope they're not on a Jund version of Hogak where this can beat me down pretty good. What did they pitch there? Another Basking Root Wall. Okay. 3 ball's very strong here. The next obstacle that we need to... There's several obstacles we need to overcome here, but Wasteland is probably the scariest card for me, and I think that there's probably a 75% chance it happens. Yeah, so there it is. And we need to find Workshop very quickly to be able to even be in this game. Right? Like 3 ball is a double-edged sword, and when you're playing against a deck that has a very high potency of being able to find, yeah, that's just game, right? Yeah. Okay. So this is indeed HollowVine we're playing against, and we have a pretty good sideboard against these strategies here. We've got Leyline of the Void, we've got Worm Coils, we've got some unlicensed Hearse. I could actually see Ratchet Bomb being relevant, Soul Guide Lantern. I don't think we want a Cage. I could see Chalice being very strong on 1. We only have a handful of cards that on 1, so I think that could see play here. I don't think we want Phyrexian Metamorph. Ravager is fine. I like Sphere on the play. I think Thorn is okay. I don't honestly know if I want Sphere resistance in this matchup. It's very dangerous. I think Fleet Wheel Cruiser is not a card I want. I'm assuredly not the beatdown in this matchup. Ballista seems relevant. I think Mystic Forge is probably just a little bit too cute. We need to cut 3 cards here. Maybe I can cut it. Actually, Unlicensed Hearse is just decent. They'll squeeze. I realize we have Leyline here. Leyline is typically not a good card against anything other than Dredge, but HollowVine is making a comeback here, and being able to remove their squeeze definitely it puts a tax on them. I think I'm going to cut a couple Sphere of Resistances here, just because of the presence of Wasteland. Yeah, this is tough. You know, the Hearses are all right. Maybe I can just cut that Chalice. Maybe it's just not doing enough. Oh boy. Well, I think this is a good hand. I'm going to put away Inspector here. Actually, maybe I just put away Ratchet Bomb. Because Ratchet Bomb we don't want to blow up at 1 on Pithing Needle. I normally would not keep both ley lines. Okay. My opponent's just going to force a vigor here right away. Okay. I mean, my opponent is definitely telegraphing that they have a Force of Vigor here. I'm not going to play with the other mocks here. The only way I really get punished for that is if my opponent has a Chalice of the Void or decides to counter it. So this is a Force of Vigor that's coming here, which makes me like our line of keeping the extra ley line at the expense of other cards in our deck here. So they went after our mocks, and they're not worried about the ley lines because they can't get rid of both of them here. So we are going to need some help. To be clear, I don't like our position here. Obviously, my opponent having an uninhibited Bazaar Baghdad is very strong against what we're trying to do right now. But if we can somehow stabilize, them not getting their squeeze back and their Vegemines is very strong. And having played an awful lot of HollowVine, those type of hands happen. Okay, HollowVine, I guess, is not the worst thing that could happen to us. I'm going to get Busy Living here and take that away. And we just have to hope our deck is going to cooperate with us. Hopefully they don't have a second Bazaar. And hopefully we can find a workshop and just start going from there. So my opponent is on this plan. We did not find a land there. We've got a number of turns. Ballista will buy us time. If we can deploy it soon enough. Okay, that's good news for me. Now, another Force of Vigor is obviously horrendous for us here, or a counter spell. But I mean, we've got to get Busy Living here. So my opponent looks like they have counter magic here. They are contemplating countering the Ballista, and I'm totally fine with that. I think it's more a matter of do they have the Vigor being far worse for me than a counterspell. My opponent realizes likely with their counterspell that the Ballista is just buying a turn. So they do have Vigor. They are completely going after my mana here, which is reasonable for sure. But a workshop changes the math of this significantly if we can make it work. Okay. Not good. I do think I take one more here. Any ability to cast a Ravager here or an Inspector does change the outlook of this game. Soul Guide. Okay, so we are now penciled into blocking. And we also need to get through their counter magic here, which is pretty brutal. One of the things that make these Bazaar decks so versatile is that, I mean, you can see that we kept a hand just loaded with hate. And to be clear, it was the Pithing Needle that made our hand tick in our opener. But these decks just walk around hate if they're allowed to use their Bazaar. This particular deck that they're playing in HollowVine does not work without its Bazaar. Other Bazaar decks walk right around that. Like the HollowVine deck, the Jun Hogak Vine deck, these decks all can just walk right around it because they can cast their spells. HollowVine does not work. Okay, they have another Bazaar here. Very nice. Okay, so that's game. We did not win that one, unfortunately, but that's the way she rolls sometimes, guys. We just really needed to find some lands, and there were our big guns there. I do think that was a winnable game. I liked our approach to it and what we were trying to do, but the reality is my opponent kept a 7 and had a very strong hand. So, hope you guys enjoyed that one. We'll see you next round. Okay, guys, here we are in round 4. I think this is reasonable. Senpai is typically a control player. I could see them following on the Luris deck or something like that, the Jeskai Luris deck. But let's see. I haven't seen Senpai playing Vintage for likely the last 6 months. Our hand is good. We have a strong turn 1 play, either whether we go Ballista or Cruiser. Obviously a little bit mana heavy, but I guess that's somewhat contingent on what my opponent's playing. I can get a 3/3 Ballista in there. It's strong. It's enough to deal with a Dreadhorde Arcanist. Opponent is down to 5 cards here, so... Okay, initiative. All right. Thalia. Or Stoneforge, okay. So I like this because we're going to have an ability to kill this thing. There's the Cauldron complete. Just shoot that down right now, get that out of the way, because we cannot let them untap with it. And I see no need to play the Mox here and conceal that information. This does feel like initiative. But the good news is we're likely going to have the ability to steal the initiative here. Archon, yeah, okay. Wish I'd played the Mox now. That is disappointing. I guess I'm going to do it. Not ideal, but I mean, if it can slow them down, probably not likely very good in this particular situation, but we'll see. Oh, lucky for us. Wow. Oh, that's not how we want to do it. You don't ever tap your mana like that. You always want to float one of your non-workshop manas, just in case. Something like a Daze. Now, of course, my opponent can't do that here, but it's just proper sequencing to do something like that. So we have the luxury, actually, of attacking in with our Archon and Fleet Wheel here. My opponent could be sitting on a Solitude, which is totally fine. But if they block with their Archon, we have a chance to kill it with the Walking Ballista, which I'd be quite happy to do. Okay, so do we want to start pumping this thing up in between our turns? Can't cast that. I don't think so. I think the Mishra's Workshop just really allows us to go off if we draw some of our really big stuff, like a Snake or something, another Ballista. Our X spells are really strong here. Ooh, 3 balls, nice. Not nicer than a Fleet Wheel Cruiser, though. I mean, my opponent is almost assuredly sitting on something here. Like, I mean, this could be something they flash in. Yeah, Solitude. Okay. I mean, you know, it's good. That allows us to pump our Ballista up next turn in addition to deploying the Trinisphere if need be. My opponent is at 7 life. Okay, another Archon is solid. What are the chances? Okay, 3 ball is solid here, but I think I really just like the ability to get this going here. I'm going to put this on Mock Sapphire. Now they can double block my Archon. But that puts them dead. I think that's okay. Oh, I got my own Archon here. Shuzzbutt. Thought I was going to get to play a Mox on my Trinisphere there. That would be sweet. Okay, nice good win for us there. My opponent of note did mulligan to 5, but those decks mulligan fairly aggressively. Pithing Needle. I don't know what type they're on. I don't think a Licensed Curse is likely where I want to be here. Definitely want my Island. I don't know if we want Ratchet Bomb. Probably not. I think Thorn is not at its best in this matchup. Love my Fleet Wheels. Forge could be good. Kind of like all my creatures. I think Chalice is just not really where I want it to be on the draw. We can cut a Seer on the play. Or on the draw, excuse me. So, second white initiative deck this league, which is the reason why we've run this deck. And despite we have not won this match yet, the deck feels good. Pro Mox, okay. We have to really hope that they don't have a Chalice of the Void here or a Thalia, but those cards are rather ineffectual against what I'm doing. Yeah, Archon is pretty sweet. We're going to cast Black Lotus. That goes without saying. And play my Strip Mine here because I'm going to be able to play the Pearl in the leaves next turn if I choose to use that as my spell. But if these decks often do go in, trying to just make a big turn 1 play, and they can stumble. Okay, this is the Seasoned Dungeoneer, which is really bad for me. Okay. Well, I mean, I think I cast a Metamorph here, right, on the Seasoned Dungeoneer. You got to try and protect my stuff here. But yeah, anyways, the Seasoned Dungeoneer, we're going to have a tough battle here. I can next turn cast a Fleetwheel Cruiser because I have the presence of a basic in hand. But this is going to put them into trap. Or forge, excuse me. Which is going to make it hard for me. But the snake, if they do put this on top of the Archon, the snake can take over here. Because we're going to get forge when we take it back. They've put it on their Dungeoneer, which is smart. Oh, they have the Wasteland. Okay. Yeah, that's going to ice it for them. Okay, we can't win this one. Gonna bring that back in. I think Mystic Forge is just way too cute for what we're trying to accomplish here. I could also see the Sphere coming back in. Yeah, this is a fantastic hand. My opponent should not be able to interact with this, at least on the first 2 turns. We could have played a 1/1 snake there, which is not unreasonable. Yeah, they did have the Ancient Tomb. Let's find a Wasteland here. That really would hose them. Okay, I don't mind this. Let's get our 5/5 snake going. It's going to be bigger than anything they're doing to start. We have 2 factories here to start pushing through if need be. We currently have a 2/2 ballista can come in. We got the oh, they missed. Okay, that's going to ice them. Well, I shouldn't say that for sure, but it's feeling more like a problem for them. Sovereign is good there. I could have cast it. It would have been a mana efficient play. It's a little bit greedy for me to be able to put it into play to stop them. But if they're going to wasteland me here, like to me, that's like a win for me. And they probably will because they don't have anything they can cast here. Now, maybe they're going to try and cast a Mox. If they have a Lotus or a Pearl, that will be good for them, I guess. Okay, nice mana crypt flip there. So what they likely have here, guys, is a Solitude. This is not optimal, but this is what they're telegraphing. By not wastelanding me, they are telling me they have a Solitude that they can pitch to kill the Stone Coil. I can gain the 5 life, or I can sacrifice it to Ravager should they let this resolve. And I suspect they will do it here pre-resolution of the Ravager. Yep. And that's not a bad thing. Oh, they're going after my Ballista. Interesting. That is an interesting line to me. That means they have another answer for the Stone Coil. Interesting. Okay, well, we're going to get in for 7. And next turn, the Ballista is going to be lethal with the Ravager in play, because almost assuredly they have to stop this Stone Coil. The question is are they gonna have a white source to be able to do so? Okay, they're at 4. Ancient Tomb puts them to 2, so the Ballista in itself is lethal, should they choose to tap that. So they did find a white source here. What will be interesting is if this is something like a Kataki. And it could be, it's Spirit. Yeah, Kataki's War Wage. Okay. So we can pay for a whole bunch of these. Yeah, I mean, this is just 100% lethal. Yeah, that's smart. Right? There's 4 to pay for. We don't need to do all that. So, we're going to tap all of these first. Yes, I would like to play for the Raptor. Yes, I would like to play for the Stonecoil. Yes. And what I think I do here, guys, is I think I pay for the Mana Crypt. I think I take the Mox, let it go. And we see if we can win a die roll here. Okay, and what would we have drawn? Metamorph. That would not have been very good. Okay, there's another factory. Okay, nice win for us there, guys. We are currently 3-1 and have beat White Initiative both times that we've faced it. And I think when we're on the play, we are favored, and when we're on the draw, we are not favored. My opponent needs to, when they get those big turn 1 plays, it's difficult to be able to come back from them. But anyways, guys, we're going to see you next round. And yeah, hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Hey guys, here we are for round 5 of our Vintage League. We're playing Ravager Shops. We want a die roll. This hand is, boy, pretty suspect, but it goes off really nice next turn. No, I can just do better on the play than this. That's disappointing. There we go. This feels like an F6. This could be good. Okay, do I just burn that? Yeah, I just burn it. Okay. Nice! That was huge hitting the Mox there. Because I really want to play the Sphere here. Alright. I don't mind drawing the Inspector because it negates my Sphere. Let's see if we can survive a Wasteland, right? That's the thing. I think I'm going to burn this. Fantastic. Fantastic's an overstatement, but we got Wastelanded. Mystic Forge is doing some work. I'm not thrilled to have the Fleet Wheel here, but we'll see what they do. I feel like this is probably White Initiative, is my guess. Okay. Maybe not. Craft Digger's Cage. Interesting. Oh, I wish I had done that there. Well, I'm not going to do anything here because I want that. I think the workshop is good here, and if this is initiative, then we're going to be able to get it with the Fleet Wheel. It is. Okay. White Plume is a good one. We are going to take it away, at least for this turn. Can't quite Ballista that. But we are going to try and get in here. Well, we got 3 out of 5 matchups that we were playing against the initiative, guys. So let's see how this works. My opponent is at 12, and they're going to take the hit. Lost my ballista, sadly. I can burn that. Fleet wheel, sweet. Okay. That's going to finish ice my opponent for sure if I can keep that Mishra's Workshop in play. So they're going to get their forge, and it is going to be a 5/5. So I guess I don't technically kill them here, but a number of things could go wrong. They're just going to forge that. Yep. Okay, and it does untap itself. And they have a whole bunch of mana here. Hopefully they tap the Ancient Tomb. Ooh, Lauren. Nasty. They're going to kill my guy. Okay. They're going to go to Trap. Yeah. Workshop. Can't really do that. I'm going to keep the Workshop on top. Because I draw a Workshop here, it's going to allow me to do some good stuff. I guess I can't really. This will put him to 4 if he blocks. I'm going to just attack with the Fleet Wheel. Yep, they're going to trade. Okay. They're going to trap me. But it's going to set me up next turn, potentially to be able to do some really... Oh, Cage doesn't work. Or Cage stops my... Oh, I didn't think about that. Cage stops my Forge. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to unfortunately have to get rid of my... They're sitting back. We're going to have to try and find ballistas. Or big snakes. I think I can do better than this. Thorn is not what I want. All right, we're losing this one, guys. My opponent just trapped me. We are losing this. All right. I was not thinking I was going to lose this one here, but we had a really strong start there. And they have gotten through 2 Fleet Wheel cruisers, so... Oof, yuck. Argon, yeah, I'm not going to be able to beat that. I can attack him with both. Yeah, they didn't want to attack with Lauren there for sure. Yep. All right. These, they got me. I could see a Pithing Needle coming in. I don't think Hearse is where I want to be. Definitely like Chalice. I think Cage, Mystic Forge is probably a bit overrated here. I don't think Thorn is where I want to be. I do like my spheres on the play quite a bit more. I think Needle is probably not a necessary evil here. Kind of just really like having creatures, to be honest. Sphere is solid against my opponent's deck. Okay, I'll take a snake out. I don't know if that's correct or not. We can do better. That looks great. Geez, I like all these tools. Maybe I can just put a revoker back. I'm going to play this out first in case they decide to Solitude. Throw this on Black Lotus. Not liking my chances this game too much. If I get Wastelanded here, it kind of sucks, but... Sapphire, come on. Kataki, nice. I'm going to lose my Mox. They're going to trade here? No, they don't want to trade. Next turn, we can get a Lodestone in, or a Worm Coil, potentially. We got to get through Wastelands here. That's the issue. Well, they went after my Workshop. Okay. Kataki's a card. Not liking my position here, guys. Kataki's a tough one to beat. I just need to find some non-workshop mana here. Nice. I'm under no illusions this Worm Coil could get nuked here by a Solitude, but I mean, it is what it is. They have 5 cards in hand. Yeah, there it is. But I have a lot of really good top decks here, so let's keep hoping. We have to hope that they keep missing here. Oh, wow. Okay. White Plume is really good. Probably that's going to be the icing on the cake for me, but let's see. Kataki, that's pretty good. You know what's scary here about the decision I just made that was wrong is that they can now wasteland my Ancient Tomb, which is not good. Let's see if they block with Kataki. Nope. Okay. I'm only going to cast one of these instead of both for the reason I just mentioned. Yeah, not looking good, guys. I really liked both our openers, but the initiative in itself has shown to be extremely powerful here. So let's see. Oh, they went down the Lost Well. Interesting. Oh, they're on the Saga plan. I don't like this. They're trying to cast a 4-drop here. Forgot about Lodestone. 3 cards in hand. I mean, we'll see what happens here. Yep. What's nice about this is if my opponent does not block and I get the initiative, it's pretty strong because I got a basic, and that's going to allow me to continue to deploy. I'm going to play this out just in case. In the least, it will pay for itself. My opponent cannot get through here. Now, I understand they have a Saga that could come in here and cause me some problems. Another White Plume Adventure. Yeah, that's sucky, but what am I going to do? Let's just rip a Ballista, right? They stole the initiative back from me. I really would like to nuke that Saga. But I think I just got to keep my stuff here. I'm not thrilled about it, but it is what it is. There's a Ballista. I can take the initiative back here. Here's the thing, though. Do I think they'll double block? They might, because of all the stuff they have, but Ballista just shoots that thing down. I get the initiative back, and I can forge one of my creatures. Yeah, I'm going to do it. It's going to get me initiative back, unless they have a Solitude here. We're definitely forging. What are we forging on? Ballista, right? Does that make it so it's a 3/3? I think it does. 2+1/+1 counters on it. Yeah, nice. Okay, we stole one there. Definitely think we want all our creatures here. I think that Chalice of the Void is not really where we want to be. Okay, let's try this out. We'll keep this. It's not amazing. It's not bad either. Nice, the Mox was great. I think I play a Sphere here. I think I'm going to play a 2/2 Snake. It's enough to animate the, to crew the Sphere. And the fact that my opponent just played a land and passed, like, Kataki's a thing. Yeah, okay, that's fine. We don't want them using it on our Worm Coil, so Kataki. Box, okay. Our Wasteland looks decent next turn, perhaps. Thalia, okay. Oh, can't get it in. Oops. Oh, it's Thalia. That's what it is. That makes sense. Next turn we'll be able to do that because now we have a -1/-1. We'll wasteland them here. And let's hope this is enough, guys. They just got a tomb again. Wow. Well, I'm going to wasteland them here. Let's see what they do. I think I'm going to dangle the bait of the fleet wheel first, because I think that there's a much higher prevalence of the worm coil being dangerous here. They did not react. And we could just hope they've choked on land here. We have a number of good draws. Like, we're pretty high creature density versus this deck, so be interesting to see. I mean, obviously White Initiative is a very powerful archetype, but I feel like this deck that we've loaded up today is competing pretty well against it. Oh, they've just had 3 Ancient Tombs. Wow. Okay. Lodestone is solid. I think I might play Lodestone here, right? I don't know. I think I'm going to try it here. Because my opponent is obviously struggling here. Do this because I can't get through. Let's see for next turn. Okay. They did not do anything again, so hopefully this Lodestone is doing its work here. They have a lot of mana, but they're under 2, potentially 3 taxes, depending on what they're trying to do here. Right, Lodestone, Sphere, and Thalia. Okay. I will cast it. Can I cast it? 2, 4, 6. Yeah, just. I think I'm going to do it now. No, I'm not. This is the way we're going to do it. And attack him with both. My opponent definitely has Solitude here. There's no doubt about it. This will force a block, though. They just bounce it back. Is that what they're up to? Puts them to 3. Their Ancient Tomb is looking very suspect now. Does this work? It does. Okay. Worm Coil. It's a big old boy there that you're going to require to be answered. All right, guys. So there you had it. I will tell you that we loaded this deck up with White Initiative in mind. Funny as it was, we ran into it 3 out of 5 times. We beat it 3 out of 3 times, and I do think that they were close. I very much play draw dependent. As a matter of fact, it may actually be that we lost every time we were on the draw. That said, it's got a lot of tools that we're looking for. The Fleet Wheel Cruisers definitely impressed me, and I think they were relevant. Phyrexian Metamorph, not so much. I guess we did steal an initiative creature once through that. I did add Traxos in during the tournament, so that actually is not in my deck. But I do think that against White Initiative, Traxos is pretty strong too, because it tramples over and will give the ability to steal. Mishra's Factory, not sure about it. There was one game in particular that I really did like it. 2, actually. One was against all the Druids. I was very grateful to have that in my deck with all the cruisers. And number 2, there was a game, I believe, against White Initiative where I had 2 factories in play, and at all times I felt like I was going to be able to attack in with the factories. Are they better than than Urza Saga? Probably not. But anyways, guys, not a whole lot to say about this deck. I thought it was is a pretty good medical right now against all the white initiative that is running around. And who's kidding who? Ravager Shops never stop being a very potent machine. Just it's a little bit weaker in a world of combo. But all that said, guys, I do appreciate you hanging out with me, and we will definitely see you next time. Remember, hit that like and subscribe button. We'll catch you soon.